One of my subscribers again has posted, I guess, his frustration of losing 2 weeks of work because of a crashed computer system. And boy, have I been there before. As an ex computer programmer, I've lost so much work in my time and the frustration that goes with it because you put so much energy, so much time, and all of it can just disappear. Just like that. Sort of like our planet. We can put so much time into all of the work that creates all of this, and yet we can lose it all. Put so much time into my life, energy, with my family just to have it all gone. And I guess the purpose of this particular video would be, okay, what's good about that? And I found that, if I do something once, if the first time that I ended up putting out this work that I spent, 2 weeks of, and the computer lost it, that was sort of like the dry run. It's like you're being life edited, because once you put it out there, anything that you've got in your head and you put out into the universe, whether you speak it, write it out, or put it on a computer, whatever, you're taking an aspect of yourself and putting it out there and making it real. When you put it out there and make it real once and you kind of lose it all, it's like, okay, now I get to do it again. And you can be caught up in the negative aspects of the frustration and all of the lost time and all of the lostness of it. And then when you end up recreating what it is you want to do, it's going to be now filled with negative energy. It's going to be filled with negative um, frustration and anger. And so then you have the potential to recreate the same work and make it actually worse because it's done from um, the energy level that's negative. So it's like I would transform that idea and just kind of, okay, what's good about this? Why could this possibly have been deleted? Why was I experiencing all of the loss? And aren't all of our experiences nothing more than lessons? And don't we get bigger and stronger every time we learn our lessons? So, what I've always done is kind of say, okay, well, that was just the dry run. That was just the first script. It needed a rewrite. And if I do it from a positive outlook, if I do it from, oh, okay, now I know better. I've done it once, I can do it better the second time. Somehow the universe didn't want that information out because maybe there was a tiny little flaw in there. And, when you practice and do something more than once, you get better at it. So what took you 2 weeks to do, you could do it in so much shorter time because you've already done it once. When you put it out there and you look at it the second time, you can kind of see where, oh, I can make improvements on that. Kind of look at everything that we've done. We've always been able to make something bigger and better when we do it over again. Even the computer system when I was a kid, first of all, we didn't even have computers. I don't think there's too many humans on this planet that even comprehend what it's like not to have a computer. But back in my day, I seen where we didn't even have TV, and then we ended up having black and white TV, and then we ended up having colored TV, and then we had computers that were only, in certain buildings, and they took up so much space. And now, because we've had to rebuild our computers, they've gotten down to so small you can hold it in your hand and carry more information than what was even in these big, huge buildings carrying these computers. And they process information so much faster. So sometimes every time we do something more than once, it's our way of improving on something. Um, it would be really, really, like if we can do something once the first time and do it perfectly, wouldn't that be amazing? I mean, what if somebody had the idea of we can have computers and have them as small as a hand? So then why don't you build that first before you went from the big stage of it and then tried to make it better and better and better? It'd be really good, but we tend to learn from our mistakes. We learn from doing it the first time. Our second time is a better run, which even brings me to something that I even wanted to talk about before is how smart are we to even design all of this technology? When you look at how did computers even start? It started by calculators, electronic type calculators. And what did we want to do? We seen that adding things up, doing accounting work was much faster. If we wanted to add numbers up, it was faster if we had a calculator to do it for us. So can you kind of notice that most of the technology that we are building is taking away a workforce? It's taking away our jobs because we want a machine to do our jobs for us. Well, we think that this is a really big idea, and we think, oh, technology is going to be able to improve the way we live our lives. No, it's not, because um, it's taking away your ability to earn a living. Where only one guy is going to benefit. The guy that owns the technology is the only guy that's going to be making the money. Yeah, he may give a little bit of money to the few people that need to build that technology, but in the meantime, um, he's taken away all of these, accounting jobs. It takes less people to do the job because computers are now doing it for you. If you can't go out and get a job, then you can't go out and earn the money, then you can't have the money to feed yourself. So it's like, okay, if we're going to build all of this really good technology that takes away all of our need to do work, then shouldn't it at some point be able to provide for us so we don't have to work? I mean, there is a way where we can work less and earn more, but right now we can't comprehend that. We're not even looking in that direction because the only people that are designing those kind of systems are the ones that have this mental illness that says, I need to be the only one that's earning the money. Everybody else can't benefit from what I'm doing. The only way they can benefit is by buying my product. And it's like, okay, if you take away their jobs, they can't even afford to buy your shit. So then you lose in the end. So somehow, some way, if you're going to build any type of technology, then it's got to have some kind of equal form where everybody can benefit from it. My idea is like, okay, why isn't the guy that's doing the work making the same amount of money as the guy with the idea that created the work? Which one has more value to it? I mean, let's get real. There's no reason why somebody could have more money than they can possibly spend in their lives. If at the end you play that game out over time, you'll see that that system collapses. It's nothing but a pyramid, where the guy at the top is the only one making money, and the guys at the bottom are the ones that are supporting the guy at the top. But the guy at the top just keeps cutting off the guys that are on the bottom that are supporting him in the first place. This pyramid structure, can you have to put more support in the bottom. The frame that holds the house up has to have more support in order to support the guy at the top. But the guy at the top, the all-seeing eye, or the pyramid, the Illuminatis, they can't really see what is supporting them. And if they want support, they got to support the guys at the bottom, not sacrifice the people at the bottom, because if you're sacrificing everybody at the bottom, you're only killing yourself. I don't know. Am I the only one that's insane and can see that? Or does anybody else see that as well? But always look at, if you've lost something, just do it over again and learn from the experience. It is okay, they just didn't know what they were doing and they're going to do it a little better. But sort of kind of notice when they're doing something better, like be aware when you're doing something better, and that's when you're coming from a positive energy. Something should have shifted in your mentality. Something should shift within your spirit. Something should shift in the negative, your energy level. Do you have a smile on your face, or are you crying about it? Are you worried and fear? Is everybody else smiling around you? kind of see how you are affected and how what you put out is affecting all others. Peace out.